Hi guys, thank you so much for watching us today. And today we have a great speaker, Viktoria Esther Labusga, who's the digital marketing specialist in the EMEA region by Nike. Hi Victoria.
Hi.
That's really nice to host you today. And before we run into the professional questions, let's just talk about you as a person. What are your hobbies? How do you balance your personal life and professional life, especially during quarantine?
Yes, so as you already said, especially during those times, I think it's really important to balance kind of like the professional and the personal life because I'm working from home since more than a year now, and I think a lot of other people do the same. So it's kind of really important to have a clear line between professional and personal life. So what helps me a lot is to stay active. I do a lot of sports, so I play hockey in a team and I go horse riding. And then I also do workouts. So at the moment in Amsterdam we are allowed to do workouts in the park. So I do that on a daily basis almost. And then at the same time it's also super important for me to stay like in contact with my friends and family. Of course it's not really easy nowadays, but like if there's the possibility I meet up with them for dinner or for a walk, and otherwise we just have Zoom calls. It's a new normal now.
Exactly, new normal. Well, I think you are the first person I'm talking to who plays on the hockey team. That's kind of like professional team or just
No, just for fun. So it's also not ice hockey, it's field hockey.
Wow. Okay.
And it's pretty big in the Netherlands, like the sport. And I played when I was younger, also back in Germany. So now it's just nice to go like once a week, have a little bit of team spirit.
Wow, that's so cool. Hockey sounds amazing. My father used to play hockey, and so I feel like this passion for hockey as well. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What about your professional background? Because your LinkedIn profile is really rich and lots of information. We know that now you work by Nike, but where did you start your professional background?
Yeah, so I would go kind of a little bit even back to my studies because I studied international management foreign trade, which kind of gives a broad spectrum of different business areas. So like from macroeconomics, microeconomics, finance. So I quickly kind of saw, okay, marketing is something that I'm passionate in. I like to explore, be creative, also digital marketing. So my first job, basically, I started during my studies in a marketing agency, kind of marketing consultancy, where I got into email marketing, print marketing. So this really got me into the marketing field. And then I worked also in an agency in London, kind of more for search and display marketing. And then when I moved to Amsterdam, I worked for ABN AMRO, which is a big Dutch bank. And there I was also working more in digital marketing, but it was quite nice because it was also a mix with traditional marketing. So we were also working on like radio spots and event marketing. So that was super interesting. And now I'm at Nike and I'm still in digital marketing because as we know, like the digital business is growing so much and booming. So I think it's the field to be in nowadays.
Wow. Okay. So really lots of experiences. And about the broad spectrum from your studies, I feel you because I finished the international economic relations. And at the same time, it's like a lot about everything, which is good at one point because it gives you lots of opportunities to learn something more in the
Exactly.
future. But sometimes, especially after the university, you're like, oh gosh, what do I do with my life? Because I we learn so many things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very true.
That's so cool that you work by Nike, and well, the whole world knows Nike. And maybe you could share just what is working for you at this company means.
Yeah, so as I already said at the beginning, my hobbies are really like sports. So for me to work for the number one sports brand, of course, is amazing. And I kind of grew up with the campaigns and communication from Nike. So I always looked up to the Nike athletes, and the campaigns from Nike are super motivational. Like we kind of try to motivate everyone to just do it, and everyone can achieve something if like they believe in themselves and everything is kind of possible. So to work for a company that develops those campaigns and inspires a whole world, for me like is really I really like it a lot, and especially also to be part of the marketing and influence those campaigns.
Yeah, that's also when I think about Nike, it's not only about the clothes that you wear, but like the whole spirit that it gives.
Exactly.
That's so powerful, honestly.
Yeah, it's way more than just like an apparel or a shoe brand in the sports sector, because like if you look around all the athletes that are under contract with Nike, they are also like idols and heroes for so many people, especially like for younger people, they look up to them, they want to be like them. So as Nike, we also kind of have a job to motivate those young children and really make them believe in themselves.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, cool. Well, I believe that you also have very rich experience in affiliate marketing, and that would be so interesting to learn more about you connected to this cool field. And maybe let's start. So, if you had to formulate what affiliate marketing is, how could you describe that?
Okay, so affiliate marketing is basically the process by which an affiliate, which can be, yeah, a person or a publisher, earns a commission for advertising products, campaigns, retail moments, or even services on like blogs, web pages, Instagram, social media. Yeah, and like so, really simply put, affiliate marketing just involves referring products or services by sharing it online, like mostly digital. Of course, there's also kind of a link between offline and online marketing that comes into place, but this is already a bit more detailed. But yeah, basically the affiliate, they earn a commission every time someone makes a purchase, and this is all tracked with unique tracking links, so we can really measure the performance and yeah, see how effective the campaigns work. And I think this is especially important because if we look at the world today, almost I think 81% of all brands use affiliate marketing, because with affiliate marketing you can reach brand awareness and you can really reach the target audience you in the end want to reach. And the best example is also, I think, in a report it said that like around 89% of Instagram users, they don't necessarily follow brand handles, so for example Nike, but then they follow influencers, and if those
Mhm.
influencers are affiliates, of course Nike as a brand gets this awareness, and like people purchase Nike because it's on top of their mind.
Yeah, like affiliate marketing is really important because it's sometimes so hard to track what is going where, and you need those tools and strategies to know how
Exactly.
to collect the data. Well, we just so affiliate marketing, but how? Let's say if I decide one day to become an affiliate marketer, what do you have to do? Where do I start?
So basically, if you want to become an affiliate marketer, like there are two things you kind of need to be passionate about or you need to consider. First of all, data. So we work with a lot of data on a day-to-day basis because, of course, we need to analyze how are the campaigns going, where's the traffic going, what are the partners in the end promoting. And on the other hand, you also need to be very creative because you in the end give guidelines to the partners on what they are kind of what they need to do, how they should promote the brand or the service, because of course you can't, like, you still need to be represented in a good way, and it all needs to be in line with the brand values. So you kind of work on a strategy of giving the partners the tools and the information they need to promote your brand in the right way, and then, of course, you analyze the performance of those partners and what they have driven.
Okay, well, if we already started speaking about the strategies, I bet there are a lot of them, right? And it's hard
Yeah.
to describe all of them, but maybe there are some like the most efficient strategies in the affiliate marketing that kind of like help you. Let's take example of like how to increase sales, for example, for a company, but using specific strategies of affiliate marketing. What
Yeah.
would that be?
So I think one of the main things is, of course, to be aligned and authentic to the kind of business, to the values of the business, of the brand, because you need to be authentic to the audience, because otherwise they don't believe in the brand, in the product. So it that is like really important. Then you should also have a good mix between commercial and content partners. So I can explain maybe a little bit
Mhm.
more in what types of affiliates there are. So we can come back to the strategies. So basically, there are like kind of two levers of affiliate types. So we have first the content, which are partners that really create their own content, meaning they produce, for example, informative articles, or they create assets, like meaning high quality images. So examples of those content affiliates can be influencers, like editorial magazines, bloggers, YouTubers. And then on the other side, we also have commercial partners, and those focus more on scaling promotions, kind of membership signups, and also increasing the basket value. And examples of those affiliates is more like shopping portals, incentive partners, reward partners.
Mhm.
And those commercial partners, they most of the time use official creative that like a brand provides them, or product images taken from the website, whereas really content affiliates, they produce their own content. So of course those different types of affiliates also influence kind of different parts of the consumer journey. So content affiliates are more used for the consideration and awareness phase, so more upper funnel, whereas then the commercial partners help to really influence decisions, so it's more the lower funnel in the consumer journey. So I would say, coming back now to the strategy, it is really important for a brand to really have a good mix between those two, so that really the whole consumer journey is kind of covered, so that there is this awareness, but then it's also kind of pushed to make the sale through those commercial partners. And yeah, what else? I would also say it is, affiliate marketing has a lot to do with relationship management, because we work with a lot of different stakeholders. So it's also really important to kind of have a good relationship with your partners. And in the end, you need to think about it's kind of a win-win, because those partners help you to drive business, but then at the same time, like they also want to get something from you. So it's really important to really be in touch with the partners, check in with the partners on what they need, and kind of align with them, because otherwise it won't work, because then they will just not represent the brand in a good way, and then you need to stop working with them. I think another good point is to always kind of look outside the box, to try
Right.
to engage with the audience in like new ways, because especially now there are so many, there's so much content out there and so many web pages, so you kind of really need to stand out. So also look for new ways. For example, gamification really became a huge thing in the last like months, even years, that kind of a playful way of engaging with the consumers. And again, I think above all of those points, there's still the point with, you need to analyze everything with the data you have, because if you don't measure what you are doing, then you don't know if you are successful or not, and you can't improve. So yeah, that is kind of the strategy that helps to grow and helps to be successful.
Exactly, numbers, they're so important. I remember when we would do some projects with our team and we would forget to report on the project. We always would hear from our office. If the project wasn't reported, it means that the project didn't happen. And same like with numbers. If you don't have numbers, then it means that you did nothing. So
Yeah,
in terms of
exactly.
analyzing, yeah, and just to catch up on the point you said, that it's also about maintaining the relationship with the influencers or with other parts who are connected to this process. And what I have noticed during the quarantine, I started receiving on Instagram some messages like, "Hey, would you like to become an influencer of our representative of our brand?" And the first stage was good. So but then when I see the communication, and I would notice the lack of communication from the part of that business, I, as the person who could potentially represent that business, I start losing trust, and
Yeah.
that's when I can't represent their values. So yeah, it's really important to maintain good relationship.
Yeah, especially like I think also a lot of brands think sometimes, yeah, quantity goes over quality. And this is like, especially in affiliate marketing, not the case. Because especially if you have a lot of partners, it's also a lot of the times that you lose track of what's actually happening. So you can also get in trouble with that because then content is published or websites kind of work with you that shouldn't work with you because they are not in line with the brand values. So it really can go wrong if you don't have this good overview and if you don't maintain those relationships.
Yeah. Well, and about the numbers, maybe you could share which are your favorite tools to track the numbers. How do you check the performance of your affiliate marketing campaigns?
Yeah, so I think useful tools are for sure Google Analytics and like Omniture Tableau. So internally, we also use those kind of tools. And then also kind of to look at the competitors, because of course you need to keep track of what our other players in the market are doing. So also SimilarWeb is a really, really useful tool to like see and benchmark where are you standing compared to those competitors. Because yeah,
Hmm.
again, it's super important.
Yeah, understanding who you are in this field,
Yeah,
feeling
exactly.
feeling
Because
your borders.
you can also see with like data and with SimilarWeb where are opportunities that you could tap into? What are other players doing that you could maybe do and you are missing out at the moment? So that's why it's really also important to look at kind of those competitors and have a close eye on them.
Yeah, I don't know why, but since we started speaking about sports, I recollected how we would have some team sports and we're like so engaged into the game, but then there would always be this table with the score. And when you are in the game, you sometimes just lose the feeling of what the score is. But it's so good to sometimes look at the table to understand how good or how bad you are doing, to understand
Yeah,
maybe there's something you need to change.
definitely. And that goes also for all the campaigns. Like you need to check on a daily basis what is happening, because if you just keep on going without like reflecting, without looking how campaigns are evolving, how the traffic is, then you in the end are just blind, which you definitely shouldn't be.
Yeah, and that's why I believe it's so good to have a good coach who can tell you what your score is, because
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, I remember swimming. When you swim, like there's nothing else you see except for swimming, and it's so good when there's this coach who just runs next to you and tells you, yeah, you can do it better, you can do it better. Yeah. Well, another thing that, well, I was also interested in learning how does this payment model work for affiliate marketing, because even when I would receive those messages for becoming like the face of the brand, you think, and how do they track? So how does this payment model work? I don't know, maybe in your professional case or any other case.
Okay, so usually in affiliate marketing, we use like a commission when preset goals are achieved by the partners. And in the affiliate world, it's really common to be paid by either CPA, which is cost per acquisition, so kind of cost per sale, or CPC, cost per click. And of course, the commission rate depends highly on the partners. So there are also differences between like commercial partners and content partners. And it also depends on the contract with the partners. So what did you agree on in the first place? And of course, there are also some times where you need to pay kind of a fixed fee to the partner in order to kind of get more than the usual. So, for example, if we look at content partners, if they need to rent a shooting location or work with models, then sometimes the CPA will not do it, and there needs to be an additional fixed fee. Also, especially in big retail moments like Cyber Week or Black Friday, where like everyone wants to be on top and wants to be like the biggest, the best. This is also a time where a lot of times fixed fee gets involved.
Oh yeah, yeah, especially like for each different agent, like for each different stakeholder, you have to find something specific that would catch their needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where negotiation comes.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, we spoke about how you balance a personal and professional life during this quarantine. And how does affiliate marketing balance its life over the 2020 and 2021? Has anything changed?
So I would say in general, the digital world is booming. So I think what we can see, it was always already growing and booming, but now with the whole COVID situation, it's like really going through the roof because especially if we look in kind of the fashion industry or in general consumer goods industry, a lot of the shops are closed, so you can't even go outside and go shopping. So people rely on the online stores, and that's why it's so important to be like digitally present and have a good consumer journey on the website and use especially like those partners to have this brand awareness. So I would say in terms of change, yeah, it changed in the sense of that it became even bigger. So it's really, yeah, without, I think, the digital world, digital marketing, it would be really hard for brands to exist. Um, and of course, we also see several trends in the affiliate world. So, for example, video content over the months has become more and more. Also, influencers are becoming more and more important. So, I remember a couple of years ago, yeah, there were some influencers, but it was also more older generations that were trying to give like some advice to people. And nowadays if we look online, we see influencers that are like 5 or 6 years old. So this will really, I think, also continue to grow, the same as platforms. So I think last year there was a big rise of kind of TikTok,
Oh,
so a
yeah.
new kind of video format to engage with people. So all those trends, I think, will continue to grow. And we just saw over this whole, COVID situation how it can actually grow.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting to see what happens when the quarantine is over, because I believe now we got so used to having everything
Yeah,
online that it might be even hard to get back to offline. I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah. And then with the TikTok, oh gosh, I remember when all of my friends were downloading the application and trying to do something there. So I downloaded it too. And then, Victoria, I spent, I don't know, like around 30 minutes just watching videos. And I was like, wait, stop. What is going on? And that's it. I decided to quit it because it really takes your time, but it attracts you so much. So it's really a very powerful platform. Yeah.
yeah. For sure. I mean, I think it's the same kind of with Instagram. Once you're on Instagram, you just start scrolling. So, yeah, one needs to be careful. But of course, for marketers that are present on those platforms, it's really good that people are spending so much time there. And yeah, I think for marketers in general, it's really important to go with those trends and really adapt to what consumers are doing and how they are spending their time, because in the end this is how we reach them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm wondering if affiliate marketing can differ from different region, because you work for the EMEA region, and do you see changes in differences in different countries?
I mean, of course, because it is always important to look at local trends, because what is working in one country might not be working in another country. Especially in EMEA, there are so many cultural differences in between the countries. So a brand really needs to be careful what they do in specific countries, because yeah, there are also a lot of legal regulations in the end that differ from country to country. So this all needs to be kind of taken into consideration. And like a simple example is also now during COVID, if we look, some countries were fully open in terms of like they didn't really have a lockdown, whereas others had like a complete strict lockdown. So if a brand would post a lot of outdoor content and content on festivals in groups in a country that is in lockdown, of course it wouldn't really resonate with the people in the country. So yeah, for sure there are differences, and there are also a lot of reports. There's a lot of information out there that marketers need to consider in order to really be present in the right way in the right country.
It is. I remember those studies at the university when we would, but I think it was a little bit stereotypically like saying that this country does this country does that. Yeah, but then when it comes to like real world, I don't know, you have to be so careful about choosing the right words, giving the right topic, just understanding the culture, the
Yeah.
mentality of people. It's such an art.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, the core stays kind of also from university, like what we learn there, it is true. Like every country has different values, has a different mentality and a different culture. And a brand or, yeah, a company needs to be respective of that. So they really need to kind of, yeah, find a way to communicate around those, yeah, or in this kind of language, in this cultural language.
Yeah, cool. Wow. Okay, maybe one of the last questions about affiliate marketing, because you work for a big company, and what if, let's say, I'm a representative of a small company who is just starting to emerge on the market. What could you recommend? What do I do with my affiliate marketing strategies? How do I build it?
Okay, yeah. So I think one of the main things is authenticity. So you should really work with partners that are authentic to your brand or service and your business, and that kind of reflect the values that you as a company have. Because again, you can't work with, or you can't have a, let's say, vegan product and then work with someone that eats meat every day. It would not work and it would not resonate with the audience you want to target in the end. Then at the same time, be bold, be creative with the campaigns and also with kind of the platforms you use, because again, there are so many businesses out there that are using affiliate marketing. There are so many in general products out there, so you kind of need to stand out from them. So kind of find a way to really have this, yeah, let's say standalone yeah, position that people will remember you as a like brand or the product of the brand. Another thing is, yeah, as we mentioned before, have good relationship with your partners you work with, because this is key, because in the end it helps you also a lot with negotiations with them if you have a good relationship, and also be selective with those partners. So don't go for like the quantity, but more for the quality, because in the end, those partners can be spokespersons for the brand, and it's really important that they do this in the right way. And again, like it always goes back to data, but everything you do, you need to kind of use the data to draw the conclusions and really determine if what you are doing is correct and if the KPIs you set before are met.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. That's a really good advice, especially I bet the startups who would be listening to us, that's something they will write down. And if you, well, of course, what you do, you love what you do. So maybe you could list a couple of advantages, like the key points that you could advise for a person to choose this position of becoming an affiliate marketer.
Yeah, so what I really like about affiliate marketing is that you really have the mix of working a lot with data. So someone really needs to be data driven, but at the same time, you kind of have the possibility to be creative and influence the content that your kind of partners, affiliates are creating. Um, and again, it has a lot to do with relationship management. So you work with a lot of different kind of stakeholders, so it's really versatile. You are really tapping into different kind of parts of marketing in the end, even though you work in performance marketing, with a lot of the time can be seen as really only data driven. You can't really be creative, which in affiliate marketing is actually not true. Like there are so many opportunities for you, and especially since it's growing so much. So if someone really wants to have this performance marketing data driven approach, but with also a link to more traditional marketing of being creative, creating like content marketing, then I think, yeah, affiliate marketing is a right choice, or a good starting point to look at.
Okay, well, it really sounds inspiring. If one day I decide to change my my position, I believe affiliate marketing could be a very good option because creativeness is really cool. And with numbers, what I have seen honestly, people when they think about numbers, they just think that it's something so boring and so hard. But honestly, numbers is a fun thing, especially when you use that properly, because it gives you base for right decisions in the future, which is really cool.
Exactly. And especially what is so fascinating that you can actually draw conclusions from your numbers and then you apply it and then you kind of immediately see the result. So it's also really, yeah, nice to see what you can take from this data and kind of make it, because in general, if we think about numbers, data, it's not really tangible. Whereas if you then draw the conclusions and apply it to your campaigns, it actually becomes tangible, which is like really, really nice to see.
It is. Honestly, when I listen to our speech, it sounds like I think we can use this part of speech for the students who are about to learn statistics and they're like, I don't want to learn statistics. And we're like, you do need to learn
Yeah.
statistics because then you can learn a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember my days back in university, I also wasn't the biggest fan of all the like finance statistic courses, but it helps you just so much to at least have a general understanding of kind of data and what you are doing. And I think especially in today's world where you have so many possibilities online with like online courses, to kind of also develop yourself further, even though you didn't like it in university, maybe now you think, yeah, maybe this is a good time to freshen up my knowledge. There are so many possibilities. So yeah, those students should definitely
Get
have
inspired.
another look.
Exactly. Okay. Well, and usually by tradition, we always ask our speakers what they recommend in terms of reading. Maybe there is some book that you could recommend to our listeners. It doesn't have to be like professional oriented, it can be anything.
Yeah, so yeah, like one book I think I need to recommend is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. I don't know if you have heard of it, but
No.
it's a memoir by the co-founder Phil Knight of Nike. So it kind of highlights the early struggles and the evolution of Nike. And it is a great read. It really reads like a story, not really like a business guidance book. And I would say it's a must read for everyone that is in business, and especially for those who want to like start a business or grow their business. So this is definitely, yeah, everyone should have read this. And I'm not only saying this because I work for Nike. Um, and then, yeah, another more on the fiction side novel that I actually read recently, and it kind of kept me, yeah, I kept it in memory, is Queenie by Candace Carty Williams. So this is again, yeah, it's a fiction book, and it seems when you start reading, it seems like an easy read, but it's really eye-opening and it goes really deep. So it deals kind of with the Black Lives Matter movement, and it follows a Jamaican girl around that has some, yeah, problems and struggles with her life. But in the end, kind of the key takeaway of the book is, yeah, that awareness and hope in the daily life are beautiful gifts, and we should really cherish that. So yeah, those would be like my two recommendations, one more on the business side, the other more on the fiction side.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much. I collect all of these books and I think, when will I be able to read all of them? But when I hear those inspirational speeches about the books, I'm like, okay, now it's time to read the book. So thank you so much. I bet it's going to be useful for lots of listeners as well.
No worries. Yeah, and especially now with the whole COVID situation, I mean, there's not that much we can do in terms of going outside. So I think it's a good time to also start reading, and yeah.
Exactly. Wow, thank you so much for today's meeting. And yeah, that was really so interesting to learn more about you and about what you do. And thank you so much for being so inspirational to
No
become the
worries.
affiliate marketer maybe in the future.
Yeah, definitely. No worries. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you so much. Stay healthy.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.